Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Alternative Assessment Ideas information here for week 4. One of the things we want to look at this week is what does assessment look like in continuous learning or in online learning? And I know to start, not everybody is doing assessment. In fact, I would say the majority of the people are probably not doing what we would consider traditional assessment, testing, quizzes, those sorts of things. There are certainly classes in our high school, especially our college classes, that have to continue to do that based on their format and how they're set up. A lot of our middle school classes, even into our 4th, 5th, and 6th grade, I get that a lot of our elementary classes are not doing that. The hope this week is that we would think about some alternative ways of doing that assessment at the end of a unit or at the end of a standard for how we're going to do that in this online environment. We may down the road find ourselves back in this situation. I don't know anything more than you do, but I think we need to think about how we might do that assessment outside of the traditional paper, pencil, maybe multiple choice, fill in the blank, that kind of situation, because that doesn't necessarily fit or work a lot with online learning. Part of that is it's not necessarily authentic in that we don't know what's going on behind the screen on the other side. There's lots of internet resources, many would call it cheating, that occurs in those situations. And so if we can think of things that are alternative ideas to that, maybe that traditional thing that would do those assessments. And I know a lot of people are doing those already. We've got a lot of cross-curricular projects and project-based things going on in this 6 weeks that are awesome. And so the goal of this is just to kind of show those things. So in this presentation, there are just some ideas kind of by subject level. And this is not the complete list. This is merely scratching the surface. And I'm attempting to put lists together that might work K through 12. Some of them involve technology. Some of them don't. So for example, here we see reading, we've got writing, math, science, social science, some specials and electives. There are also then some online sort of discussion things here, videos of online assessment. You do not have to watch those. They are lengthy, but if you have some time and you want to check them out, please feel free to do so. Part of the genesis of this, or part of thinking about this, is here's an example of something that we might come across. And I just pulled this worksheet up here. This is a balancing equations worksheet for chemistry. And so let's pretend that this is an assessment that we're doing. If I'm a kid, all I have to do is copy the first several words of something and paste, especially if it's something that someone has pulled off the internet. And most of the time, in the first few results, there's my worksheet, and there are the answers to the practice problems. And so if it's something that we're getting from Teachers Pay Teachers, or even from like a resource, an academic resource, it's really easy, and our kids are really good at finding those things. I would offer up alternatives like using, especially for math and science, like an online whiteboard. Maybe instead of, having, a 25 question math test, maybe your math test only looks like 4 or 5 questions, and kids have to record their screen explaining to you specifically how to do those specific problems. And again, I know this is not K through 12 balanced across the board where everybody can use every tool and everything, but I know that you have some great ideas and some things going on with that. When you have kind of perused this for some ideas, maybe you have resources of your own. The assignment, quote unquote, for this week is there is a discussion board question in Google Classroom. So we see this here. We got some ideas. If we head over to Google Classroom, you'll see here in week 4, there's a discussion question right here. This is the first time we've used this in this course. Looking at this, you can view the question. The question is, what's one standard or idea or topic that we're currently assessing? How might we transform it using one of the ideas from that Google Slides presentation or something else that you have? Technology does not necessarily have to be involved. a couple things here on this. There are a couple spots for text right here in the top right-hand corner where it says your answer. That's where your text goes right here to turn it in. Private comments, if you go here, will only come to me. If you click down here and you do class comments, that doesn't answer the question. That makes a public comment for everyone to see. So again, right up here where it says your answer is where your answer goes, and then you can click to turn it in. Once you turn it in, that will take you to the discussion board and you'll be able to see everyone else's answers that has contributed as well. But until you contribute your own answer, you won't be able to see anyone else's answers. Also, part of the directions, and you'll see down here, is we'd like for you to give feedback to at least 2 people throughout the week about their ideas. Maybe it's positive feedback, maybe it's a question you have about something they posed, trying to get that collaboration between one another. Again, we're using the discussion board tool this week based on the ideas for alternative assessment that we have here, and thinking about what are some ideas that might work in this online environment that sort of think outside the box, that allow kids to have choice, that kind of defeat that, well, I just texted my friend, or I just took a picture of the test and sent it to my friend, and they just filled theirs out, because we don't really know what kids know. How do we let them or allow them show us what they know? So that's the goal this week, is to think about some of those alternative assessment ideas in our current continuous learning and online distance learning situation. If you have any questions, please let me know. Again, the sort of response or submission for this week is that discussion board question here on Google Classroom. Thanks.